Okay, to enable SSL, select the project in Solution Explorer and press F4. Here, set SSL enable to true. Now look at this URL. This is the address we use in order to establish a secure connection with Vidly. So copy this. Now back again in Solution Explorer, right-click the project and go to Properties. In the Web tab, scroll down. Here's our project URL. Replace this with this new address. HTTPS localhost port number 44300. Of course, this might be different on your machine, but it's probably the same. Now save. We don't need this anymore. Now if we run the application, we get this dialog box, which basically tells us that our project is using SSL, and in order to avoid getting warnings in the browser, we need to trust this dummy generated certificate in IIS Express. Click yes. Now we get this dialog box, which asks us if we want to install this certificate. Click yes. Okay, look at the address bar. Now the address of our project is HTTPS localhost 44300. And this icon here, the reason it's red is because we don't have a proper certificate. This is just a dummy certificate. If you deploy your application to a live web server, you need to get an official certificate from your web hosting company. Now let me show you something. Even though we are looking at the home page using HTTPS, I can still access this home page on a non-secure channel. So HTTP localhost, and this is the old port number. Look, it's still accessible. So back in Visual Studio, let's go to app_start, filter config. And here I'm going to add another filter. Require HTTPS attribute. With this, my application endpoints will no longer be available on an HTTP channel. Build. Back to the browser. Refresh. Look, we can't access the site anymore. So, HTTPS localhost 44300. Beautiful. Okay, now we need to register our application with Facebook. Head over to developers.facebook.com. If this is your first time using this service, you need to register yourself as a developer, and this is completely free. Once you log in, you will see this menu here, Add a new app. Here we need to select the platform, which can be iOS, Android, Facebook Canvas, or website. We're going to select website. Here we type the name of our application, Vidly. Create new Facebook app ID. And here you put your email. You select the category and create app ID. Now on this page, you see a piece of JavaScript, which is for Facebook SDK. We're not going to use this. Scroll down and here put the URL to our Vidly application. So on my machine, it's HTTPS localhost port number 44300. Next. Okay, we're done. Let's skip to developer dashboard. Okay, on the dashboard, you see an app ID and app secret here. Copy these values. Now back in the solution, go to app_start and open up startup.auth. Scroll down. Okay, look, we have this boilerplate code for using Facebook authentication. So I'm going to comment this out. And similarly, we're going to get this app secret and paste it here. Now, I'm not going to do that in the video because this is secret information. And that's pretty much all we had to do. So you see, using social logins is pretty easy. We just need to register our application with an external authentication provider, get an app ID and a secret, and then come to this class and enable this piece of code like use Facebook authentication. Now let's test this. If we go to the login page, scroll down, we see a new section here, use another service to log in. and you see the Facebook button. So all of this magic is happened by MVC Framework. If you enable Google Authentication, you will see another button here. Now in a real world scenario, you can go to the views, find the code that renders this button, and replace it with an image. But for now, we don't have to worry about this. Now let me log in with my Facebook account. Okay, you see I'm redirected to Facebook. And Facebook is asking if I'm going to give Vidly access to my public profile information. So, okay. Okay, I've successfully authenticated with Facebook. So in the registration form, I no longer have to put in my password, only email. So let me put my email. We got a validation exception. The reason for this is because we added a new field to our application user, driving license. We added driving license to our standard registration form, but not on the registration form via social logins. So back to Visual Studio, we go to Views, Account, External Login Confirmation. That's the registration page when we use a social login provider. So let's open this. If you scroll down, you see we only have the email field here. So we need to add the driving license as well. I'm going to go and copy some code from register.cshtml. Okay, here's our form group. Copy. Back here. And I'm going to paste it right after the email field. Now again, the view model behind this view does not have this property. I'm going to use ReSharper to quickly create this property. So put the cursor here, Alt and Enter, Enter. So the view model for this view is external login confirmation view model. So this should be a string. Also, I'm going to apply these two attributes and set the display to driving license. Now, when this form is posted, again, we need to get this property from our view model and put it in our domain object. Let's go back to the view. Scroll up. Look, this is the action that this form will be posted to. So put the cursor here, Control B. Here we are. So at this point, when we create an application user, we want to initialize their driving license. Just like before. Now, let's test it one more time. Build. Back to the browser. I'm going to go to the login page again. Facebook. Now, the second time, we are not redirected to Facebook because earlier I authorized Vidly to access my public profile information. Now, with the email, driving license, register. Beautiful. Now, one last thing. If you go to SQL Server Object Explorer, look at the ASP.NET Users table. So here's my account with the email programmingwithmosh@gmail.com. But I also have another record in ASP.NET User Logins table. And this is because I logged in via Facebook. So my login provider is Facebook. Here's the provider key, which is the access token that ASP.NET Identity used to access my information on Facebook. And here's my user ID, which comes from ASP.NET Users table.